Let me turn this down. Just a heartbreaking story I saw on Facebook about a father having his children taken away from him, and he's videoed it. He's crying and crying. Little kids are crying as well. Social services have taken his children away because of his stand on Palestine. And you know what crossed my mind is one of the things why I left the UK, and haven't really looked back since. By the grace of God, thank Allah. Far prefer it where I am. And I thought to myself, look at them. Honestly, I felt like crying when I saw what that poor guy was going through. I thought to myself, that is the sickness of the Muslim community. That is how sick they are. That they could, British Muslim community, that they could see and allow real child abuse against their own community and not organise to defend that guy. That's how sick-minded they are. I thought to myself, how could you allow those children to suffer that way? Forget the father who's going through hell. Forget what the mother's going through. Hell, I'm sure she's ready to commit suicide. How could you allow that without organising anything? Are you that low down that you'd let these children in your midst? Forget what's happening in Palestine. In your own backyard, you have so washed your hands on each other that you would allow that. Now, the obvious answer is twofold. The first thing Muslims always used to say to me is, "Oh, bro, but what can we do?" And that always used to upset me, because I tell you what, I'd been active in the UK to defend Muslims Islamophobia for around 20 years, right? And I think maybe once I met one guy in all those 20 years who said to me, "Bro, what can we do?" and actually wanted to do something. The rest of the 20 years of meeting thousands of people and having that question asked to me thousands of times was either so they could just know as a point of information and write it off, or to argue with me about why that thing wouldn't work. And what I realised over those many years was people don't ask a question of what can I do to do 99.999% of the time. Because if you wanted to do something, you would have done it. You with me? You would have. No one knows how to get a job, right? But they try to find out how to get a job. No one knows how to get married. It's not growing on women aren't growing on a tree. You go out, you find, you look, you have to work, all of that type of stuff. You get in a position to get married. How do you look after kids when they're born? You learn, you try, you make effort. But with Muslims, when you, after seeing all this going on, and then they go, well, only now you're asking me? Well, where were you for the rest of your life? You never once thought to yourself, wonder what I could do. It didn't even cross your mind that only now in front that this incident has happened, and you're going, well, what can I do? And even if someone told you, I bet they wouldn't do it. That's my experience, and that nothing has changed. And so that's the thing. It's because they don't want to do. If someone asks that, it's because they don't want to do. They ain't even tried. They ain't even thought about it. But going on, I thought to myself, all that money that these people give in charity, and not one of them have given, or very few of them have given any money to organise to stop this type of thing. Now imagine if this happened to a Jewish community. You can't even say anything about Jewish Zionists without getting banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook. Not because they're magical, so they organise. They've got organisations who will go meet Twitter and say, this is what we consider unacceptable. Will you take an action? If you don't take an action, then they'll call their MP or their congressman or their senator and tell them, can you put pressure on? Organised, you see? Everything has a system. Everything, more and more pressure. Contact the media. Ask the media to call Twitter. There's some Jewish journalists who will pick up the phone to Twitter. Muslim journalists don't think about that. Muslims don't even, and Muslims have no organisational system to do that. Why? Because they don't want it. So what? Poor guys like this just have to keep going through hell, have their children taken away. That's like a third world country isn't it? Not even. No, I've been in the Muslim world for a bit of time. They're not that cruel. That is a whole level of cruelty to take some guy's kids away. For what? Because you don't agree with his opinion. They ain't taking Tommy Robinson's kids away, have they? You know, not for that anyway, right? You know, it's just level of sickness, right? That, you know, what about that kid, the Jewish guys who are going flying off to Israel, shooting up Palestinians, come back? They don't take their kids away because their community will defend their rights. They'll defend our community won't do nothing. And then Max will go, well, what can we do? Go, you know what you can do? You can jump in the lake. Go do that. You know, at least do that. Drown yourself. Because that's what you deserve. You know, after seeing that poor guy crying, I thought, what is wrong with us? You know, there's a Shakespearean quote, I think it's in Romeo and Juliet, and you know, don't get me wrong, I don't read Shakespeare, right? It's just something that I heard once. And this particular guy, he stands up for Romeo and he dies as a result of it. And before he dies, he realizes, you know, Romeo, you're just as bad as the rest of them. And he says, curse on both of your houses. Curse on both of your houses. I stood up and died for you, for this, for what? And I realize, you know, the Muslims of Britain, that's what you get. Curse on the people that are attacking you. You know, curse them because they are evil. To do that type of evil, to take kids away and demonize you and see your women get spat on in the street and acid thrown in your faces and all that. But I gotta say, curse on you too. Curse on both your houses for allowing it. You allowed it. Curse on both your houses. That's all I got to say. And the only thing I can say is, you know, you guys just don't deserve anything but what you're gonna get.